Hello, welcome to Pride Up London Fan TV. Ali here, bringing you my match review of the game at Selhurst Park between Crystal Palace and Wolves, which of course finished 1-0 to the Eagles. A very happy fan base yesterday, and great to be here doing a positive review. Let's get into all the usual features: Roy's rating, man of the match, and the ref rating too. Let's get cracking with Roy's rating. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. The most natural position to start here is with the change in system from 4-4-2 to 4-2-3-1. Many fans calling for that over the last few weeks, and he did it. And I think it worked on the whole. In the first half, we were much more compact in the central midfield. We were not overrun like we were at West Ham. That game's still very fresh in the mind. And also what was good to see was Wilf still being relatively free. That was my only concern with this change in system. He's been so prolific from his central role, 9 goals this season compared to the 4 he got on the left-hand side last season. And I think this formation is here to stay from what Roy is saying in his post-match interview. I do realise as well that we did switch to 4-4-2 in the second half. I didn't personally see that as a negative. I think one of the negatives actually this season has been that we stuck rigidly to one system. If we can interchange between these two systems, there's no reason for me for the 4-4-2 to be stuck to the history bins. I think it's a system that's worked at times this season really well, and it'll be harder for teams to work out how we're going to play if we fluctuate between the two. So I think the 4-4-2 may still be sparingly used, but expect the 4-2-3-1, I think, to be used at Newcastle away. The other thing that Roy needs great credit for is freshening it up. He brought in some more players that hadn't been playing recently, and in particular, he freshened up the right-hand side with Nathaniel Klein and Jordan Ayew, both having really strong games. The other one he brought in that was much needed, I think, was Scott Dann. Against West Ham, we were very vulnerable to crosses. In particular, Sukic brutally exposed us. We were more open from crosses against West Ham than Britain's borders in a global pandemic. But Dan sort of brought that reassuring presence yesterday, that leadership that we needed, although I would say that Wolves weren't that threatening or that great, a shadow of the team that they were last season. However, we have to give Roy credit today, I think, for yesterday. I think because we've been so critical of him in recent weeks, myself included. I've been critical of him over certain things, but credit where it's due. It was a good performance and a much needed 3 points, and let's hope it's onwards and upwards now. I do think the only gripe we have, and me included as a fan base, is Jairo Riddlewell not playing. I don't know what he's got to do to get in the team. Maybe not be an incisive passer, because it seems to be the remit to be in our central midfield is to not be an incisive passer. But he did get on in the end, didn't he, eventually, with James McCarthy going off injured. And he came on, and I think he proved why so many fans want him in. I think we were justified in that opinion. He played very, very well yesterday, dictating things almost. But I think he will be there against Newcastle because of this James McCarthy injury, which I actually think is a bit of a shame, because actually my chosen two would be James McCarthy alongside Jairo. That's nothing against Luca. I think Luca had quite a good game apart from set pieces. I just think the way McCarthy sits actually makes me more reassured when PVA's bombing forward, who also, by the way, had a good game. Good on him. So I don't know, but I think it will be Luca and Riddlewell at Newcastle, because I think McCarthy looked pretty injured, and that's McCarthy's problem. He just can't seem to stay fit. Let's get into the man of the match. I'm going to go for Nathaniel Klein. For me, over the 90 minutes, he was brilliant, both defensively and attacking. However, in the poll that I put out to you, you went for Eze with 42.9% of the vote, and Klein just finishing short of that on 36.5%. I get it. The goal was brilliant. Just for me, I thought Eze came more alive in the second half. What was really great, though, was to see his interplay with Saha. When those two are close to each other, the opposition don't really know where to look or what they're going to do next. And it was great to see Wilf on social media actually congratulating Eze on his goal. They seem to be developing a fantastic relationship, both on and off the pitch. It's actually the most heartwarming friendship I've seen since Woody and Buzz Lightyear. Also getting mentions, Jordan Ayew, 11% of the votes. Good assist, as I've said, had a very strong game. Vincente Guaita getting 9.5% of the vote, a very crucial save in the second half. And also what was great was, in recent weeks, it's been hard just to come up with one man of the match for Crystal Palace. But yesterday there were shout-outs too. I asked you to shout out anyone who wasn't in the 4 options on the poll. Great to see PVA getting a shout-out. Being linked with Arsenal, though. Could he go there? Maybe being played yesterday will stop him from doing that. I mean, he could go there as a backup for Tierney, who's currently injured. But let's see, we know PVA is out of contract in the summer, so it might be an interesting 48 hours on that one. But I was pleased to see him getting praise yesterday on social media. He's had a bit of a criticism, and I think he stood up yesterday. I did say before the game that I didn't agree with the decision to drop Mitchell, but I felt PVA might play with a point to prove, and he did on the whole. He had a really good game. Looked a bit sus against Traore a couple of times, but who wouldn't? PVA himself describing it as being like having the Incredible Hulk running at you. Also, obviously getting a mention of man of the match is a current fan favourite, Gyro, which we've been through and touched upon already. Ref rating, I'm going to go for a 7 for the ref. I don't think there were too many incidents of note. I know Wilf got the booking at the end of the game. Now, I have stuck up for Wilf and his temperament on Arsenal Fan TV a few weeks ago when Robbie Lyle asked me about Wilf's temperament. I stuck up for him. You know, for me, it's part of his game, part of that edge. And the commentator was chatting rubbish about him yesterday again when the booking happened. Because, you know, that's a big team player like Wayne Rooney over his career. It was always said by the commentators, but that's part of him. That's his edge. That's what fires him up. But for Wilf, it's seen as a problem. That seems to be the latest media narrative around Zaha. However, I would say that probably squaring up at any point like he did is unnecessary, because all it takes is a wrong tilt of the head or a defender to play on that in the age of VAR, then you're going to get yourself in trouble. And I think at that point, we've got the 3 points. Just laugh in Cody's face and walk away, really, because the job was done. But as I said, that does seem to be a media narrative at the moment, though. But what a performance. I don't think it was what a performance. I think it was a good performance, but it's definitely something to build on. The new system is something to build on. And let's hope that we build on it on Tuesday night against Newcastle. Before we wrap things up, just a bit of a shout out to Yannick Bolasie playing for Middlesbrough. Great to see him back. I thought he was treated quite badly by Everton, and let's hope that his career kicks on now. But as always, let me know what you think in the comments below. Who was your man of the match? Would you give Roy's rating? Do you agree with the change in system? What do you think is going to happen in the transfer window? Personally, I don't think there's going to be much. I think, as Roy said, I think we're probably done. I didn't even expect Mateta to get over the line. That was a bonus, and I think that's fair enough in these times where we have no fans and revenue on a match day. So not expecting much over the 48 hours for the transfer deadline. But as always, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you like this video, press that subscribe button.